Chapter 4. Confrontation. Kyle and Jane stood outside the crumbling remains of what was once a stately home. The address from the library book had led them here, to a secluded property shrouded in mist and silence. The house, with its broken windows and ivy-covered walls, seemed to radiate an ominous energy. "Are you sure this is the place?" Kyle asked, his voice hushed as if speaking louder would awaken something within. Jane double-checked the faded page they had taken from the library. "This is it. Elias Greer is supposed to be here, if he's still alive." Kyle took a deep breath and pushed the creaking gate open. The gravel path leading to the door was overgrown with weeds, and the only sound was the crunch of their footsteps. As they reached the porch, Jane hesitated, glancing at Kyle. "You ready for this?" she asked. "Not even a little," he admitted, but he raised his hand and knocked on the weathered wooden door anyway. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the sound of heavy footsteps echoed from within. The door creaked open, revealing a tall, gaunt man with piercing blue eyes and a silver-streaked beard. He looked them over with a gaze that seemed to pierce straight through to their souls. "Who seeks Elias Greer?" the man asked, his voice gravelly but steady. Kyle swallowed hard. "I do. I need your help." Elias's eyes narrowed. "The curse," he said, more a statement than a question. He stepped aside, gesturing for them to enter. "Come in. Quickly." The interior of the house was as eerie as its exterior. Candles lit the darkened rooms there, flickering flames casting strange shadows on the walls. Shelves lined with ancient books, and jars of unidentifiable substances surrounded them. A faint, earthy smell filled the air. Elias led them to a small sitting room and motioned for them to sit. He remained standing, his imposing figure framed by the dim light. "You've had your first transformation," Elias said, studying Kyle closely. "And you've come here hoping for a cure." Kyle nodded, his throat dry. "I can't live like this. I don't even know how it happened. I needed to stop." Elias folded his arms. "The curse of the werewolf is not so easily undone. It's ancient, tied to bloodlines and the cycles of the moon. There is no true cure, but there are ways to control it." "Control it," Kyle repeated. "Ow!" The older man pulled a thick book from a nearby shelf and placed it on the table. He flipped through its brittle pages until he found what he was looking for, a diagram of a wolf, surrounded by symbols. "Through ritual and discipline," Elias explained, "you must learn to master the beast within you. It will take time and dedication. Are you prepared for that?" Kyle hesitated. He had hoped for a simple solution, something to make this nightmare go away. But as he looked at Jane, her eyes filled with quiet encouragement, he nodded. "Yes," he said, "I'll do whatever it takes." Elias's expression softened slightly. "Very well. The first step is to understand your own nature. The beast is not separate from you. It is part of you. You must confront it, not suppress it." Kyle's chest tightened at the thought. He could still feel the lingering terror of that night, the way he had lost control, the screams of his co-workers. "And if I fail?" he asked quietly. "If you fail," Elias said, his voice grim, "the beast will consume you entirely. You will become nothing more than a creature of instinct and rage." Jane reached out and placed a hand on Kyle's arm. "You won't fail," she said firmly. Elias nodded approvingly. "You have someone who believes in you. That will make a difference." The rest of the evening was spent in preparation. Elias taught Kyle the basics of meditation and grounding techniques, tools to help him regain control during his transformations. He also gave Kyle a small vial of a bitter-smelling potion, explaining that it would dull the beast's influence during the next full moon. As they left Elias's home, the weight of what lay ahead pressed heavily on Kyle's shoulders. The path to control would not be easy, and failure was not an option. But for the first time, he felt a glimmer of hope. Perhaps, with Jane by his side and Elias's guidance, he could find a way to live with the beast inside him, or at the very least, keep it from destroying him.